Welcome to In the Cut, the show that gets you up close and personal with BN and our community. All right, let's try this again. Good afternoon, evening, or morning, depending on where you are in the world today. Welcome to In the Cut, the show that gets you up close and personal with BN and our community. I am Mandisa Thomas, founder and president of BlackNonbelievers, and your host for the show. In the Cut is a production of BlackNonbelievers, which is a 501c3 organization. Headquartered in the Atlanta area, we connect with other Blacks and allies who are living free of religion and might otherwise be shunned by family and friends by providing a caring, friendly, and informative community. Instead of accepting dogma, we determine truth and morality through reason and evidence. And the mission of BlackNonbelievers is to provide secular fellowship, nurture and support non-believers in coming out, which is also known as open identification, encourage pride in non-religious identities, educate the public on the history and current state of non-belief in the Black community, and organize events for charitable causes. And as always, you can visit our website at blacknonbelievers.org. BN welcomes all regardless of age, gender identity, sexual identity, national origin, or racial identity. However, our work and our content prioritizes Black non-religious voices. So we are still in the thick of the holiday season, and we'd like to say a huge thank you to everyone who has supported our end of year campaign. There is a lot of end of year fundraising for many organizations. And of course, we are no different. Your support for BlackNonbelievers helps with our liberation work, providing the community space, also helping us support other organizations that help the community. Once again, we do co-sponsor the Hurston Scholarship along with the Secular Student Alliance. So we are still very, very multifaceted. And I must tell you that this time of the year is almost a complete 180 from this time last year. And ever since January of this year, we have been working to build back better. Once again, if you are new to the show and new to our organization, we restarted our Detroit affiliate as being of Metro Detroit. Shout out to Kelly for holding it down up there and doing such a wonderful job. We reestablished our Chicago affiliate. Shout out to Cynthia for holding it down up there. We also started a Philadelphia affiliate. Shout out to Hamid, who is the group leader up there. We are still going strong in Charlotte. Shout out to Tina. And of course, here in the Atlanta area, we are steady going strong. And of course, virtually, we are continuing our programming within the Cut, as well as other virtual programs that others can enjoy and listen to and learn from if you cannot join us in person at any given time. And you can still find us at various events across the country throughout the year. Earlier this year, Cynthia and she tabled at the Motor City Black Age of Comics Convention, and we are definitely planning to be back there next year. We tabled at Juneteenth events. We participated in the Secular Week of Action. We did Dragon Con this year. And of course, we did our very own BNC Con, which was quite wonderful. It was a bit more intimate this year, but I will be giving details on 2024, which is up and running. You can start booking that now. Give yourself an early holiday present with a deposit for BNC Con 2024. If you book your deposit before the 22nd, you get some extra goodies there that come along with being a part of our group. So please do consider joining us on the cruise next year. We will be aboard Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas, and we have some wonderful guests in store. They will be announced at the end of the show. Once again, the ways you can donate to us are through our website. You can donate one time via PayPal, or you can make your contributions monthly via PayPal. You can also do that through ActBlue. You can also Cashapp us, and also PayPal has a giving fund where you can make your donations anonymous if you wish. We do understand, some of our members are still not open, so they do support us. They do support us anonymously, which is needed for not just for our operations, but also for those who need that support. So we appreciate all of it, whether you are full, open, and out with it, or you just support us on the back end and you appreciate the work that we do. Because the one thing that we are very, very intentional about is networking and making sure people have that space and having and being connected to the resources that are needed, and also representing unapologetically as Black folks. And so, I'm really excited about our special guest today, because we are continuing in the frame of introducing you and connecting you to folks who have content, folks who are doing work, and those who you can support as well on your own. So we are about amplifying those Black voices, those Black non-religious voices, those Black provocative voices. And so that will continue until into next year and beyond. So we've been going strong for 12 years now. We will be celebrating our 13th year in 2024. And we look forward to continuing to celebrate more anniversaries and birthdays, if you will, for Black non-believers. And that is in no small way due to the members who engage us, our viewers here on this show, all of our channel subscribers, and of course, all of our financial supporters. You do make all of the difference in the work we do, and it is very much appreciated. We still have a Facebook donation campaign that is live as well, if you prefer to donate there as well. But yes, those are the many wonderful ways that will be shared in the chat of how you can support Black non-believers in our work, not just throughout the year, not just at this time of the year. This is a season of giving, which we appreciate. However, we definitely we appreciate your support throughout the year, because it really does make a huge difference. So 2023 really has been a year of us improving, of us healing, and us moving forward and continuing to remain positive and engaging our members, and remembering that it is about community. It is not perfect, but in our transitions and in the challenges that we face, we can only get better, especially if we are willing to do the work. And that is what it's all about. And just a reminder that the God Talk documentary with the National Museum for African American Culture debuted this year. It debuted back in October. And so you will be seeing more about where you can view that nationwide. And what's so significant about this documentary, if I didn't say it before, is that it chronicles the lives of 7 Black millennials from different faith and non-faith backgrounds. And the atheist perspective is included in that. And also Black non-believers, myself, and other members were interviewed. And shout out to Dr. Tony Penn, who was a guest on our show earlier this year in February. He was also featured in the documentary. And the producers of that documentary told us that we were the first organization, Black non-religious or Black secular organization, to provide that framework of what Black non-religious community and engagement looks like. And so this is extremely important, because as we see more people navigating away from traditional religion or just letting go of it altogether, which goes into, and they are basically giving death to those gods, which is so significant, because it allows other people to be able to live and allow other parts of themselves to come alive. And this is what we encourage for everybody, whether you are still a believer in some form or not. The key is to critically think and just to think, period. Don't just simply take anything at face value. Take it so that it enriches your lives and it makes it better. And if that means that you let go of those traditional, or you let go of belief altogether, and you need a space for community, then we are here for you. And always know that. So with that, I'm going to save the rest of that for later. We have some upcoming events for the month of December, getting ready for the new year. And we are going to get into our interview now. It is my pleasure to welcome our special guest, the artist known as Error. So Alex McGee, also known as your favorite Error, is a cartoonist, documentarian, and photographer. Coming straight from West Palm Beach, Florida. He's been on a long time path to show people another perspective, turn the art world around, and then leave. Error, who recently released a project titled The Death of God, says their main goal is to tap into all areas of art. They have a series called WTF is Photography and an animation series on the way titled LMFAO, Damn It. Welcome to the show, Error. It is such a pleasure to have you with us today.
How y'all doing? How you doing today?
Thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate you being here, especially for our last show of the year. It is so nice to meet you. I've been looking at your content on IG. Shout out to Eccentric who put us in touch. So we're very, very happy to have you with us.
Yes. Thank you.
So we're gonna start this. You are so welcome. So we're going to kick off this interview by asking you what we ask everyone. Tell us about your upbringing, your background, how you were raised, and basically how you got to this point. And please feel free, take it away.
All right. So I guess we're gonna start our way from the beginning, man. So as y'all know, my name is Alex. I come straight from West Palm Beach. I've been there all the way up until I was 21. Went to school there, high school there, middle school there. You already know, LBE, shit. Honestly, I was kind of brought up to, I guess, do art anyway, because I come from a musician family, a musical family. Everybody in my family got some kind of musical talent except for me. I'm the only one who decided to pick up a pencil. It was like, you know what? Let's draw. So that's kind of what happened with that. And two, I guess I started off in the School of Arts. So, it was kind of one of those things. They brought me up to had to kind of explore my talents. Found out music wasn't that, so I really tried to impress the girl with my art skills. And then after that, you already know, after that went through, I was like, you know what? I actually like this. And so I just stuck with it. I stuck with it my whole entire life. As anybody, I would talk my shit. I'm going to be this one day. I'm going to be this one day. And I always catch me drawing. And then I also went to college for it. I went to Fort Lauderdale, Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale. Boo. And they basically scammed us. I ain't really stay there. I stayed there for almost a year. Got scammed. I couldn't transfer my credit. I couldn't transfer my credits or anything. So I just ended up being a freelance. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I was like, let's try to at least get some money back. So I got a job, ended up just being freelance here and there. Nothing too serious, And then I really started I felt like I was running in a circle, It was a point in time where I also lost my portfolio. When I had moved to Georgia the first time, I only stayed here for a couple months. I was like, I was young and still ready to. Well, I'm still young, but I was just younger, ready to just wild out. So I was like, man, it's too slow down here. Let me leave and go back home. I need to build back up my portfolio anyway. So I did that, still being a freelance for those years, but I started getting more into the scene, started meeting the right people and not meeting the right people, more creative people, and it kind of pushed me to be more of what I felt like I should have been the whole time. And so I just ended up being like, man, I need to take myself more serious. The people around me was telling me I need to take myself more serious. So I ended up coming to Atlanta, and I guess that was my first time being like I'm a real deal artist. So yeah, that's kind of, and then ever since I've been down here, I've been meeting the right people. I've met Eccentric and Indigo. They've been helping me figure myself out as an artist and push me in the right direction. So ever since I've been on the right path. So that's that's Alex. That's there, you know. Oh, and too, when it comes to,
Awesome. So, what was your, yeah?
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, I
And I was
didn't
going to
mean.
ask, what about your religious upbringing? What was your religious upbringing? And you said that you come from a family of musicians. I imagine that many of.
Okay, so my religious upbringing, you know what's funny about that? I feel like both of my parents were kind of really open-minded people. My father most definitely was an open-minded person. He was definitely more spiritual, a spiritual person. Like he used to kind of teach me about nature and things of that nature. Like he would try to, just expand my mind. He used to watch a lot of philosophies and, being a kid, run right in the room and just watch it with him. So I guess that played a big part about who I am today. And my mama was she's religious, but she comes from that religious family. They're like my grandma, one of them Jehovah's Witnesses, so you can only imagine. But my mom, it put a bad taste in my mom's mouth, so she kind of like went out on her own, and she still kind of stayed religious, but one of those free-minded religious people. She doesn't really go directly to the book. She keeps here and there like them little wild scriptures and stuff like, but it ain't nothing too much. They kind of both push me to be more open-minded and more not even spiritual, but more have like a logical mind. And it kind of left me to find my own, I guess, reasons for life. But that's kind of the part I played. But it's kind of funny because I was the only one that kind of took that separate route. The rest of my siblings are kind of like really religious. So that was kind of my upbringing. Nothing too deep because it wasn't really forced.
That's interesting. So, what do you think? Why do you think that more of your siblings are more religious than you? And how has that relationship been with them as a result?
All right. So the funny thing about that is it's kind of interesting. I don't really know why. I really don't know why. And you know what it was? It's probably because they're my half siblings and they're my half siblings. So their mom is actually really religious and stuff like that. And two, the joke about this is also my sister is a kind of a known preacher. Not a known preacher, not a famous preacher, but in her area she's a known preacher. So that's actually pretty funny, like hardcore Christian. So and my brother kind of falls right under that. So and honestly, when it comes to them, they also had like kind of in one of those like Christian cults, like you know what I'm talking about. So she kind of got finessed on that, said the right things in the ear and convinced her to do whatever. So that happened, and just because of who I am, I'm a wild card. I'm cool, I'm calm, but I'm a wild card if you really know me. So and then I'm the only one in my family that does anything different. Hell, I'm the only one in my family that got dreads. I'm the only one in my family that, I party, I do all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm definitely the outside. I'm the black sheep. And I kind of hide my views away from my sister and my grandma, things of that nature, because I don't want that extra heat, because they the type, they'll try to force it down on you. And I kind of play that part. But then again, I don't really talk to my siblings at all. So yeah.
That's yeah, that tends to be pretty common among a lot of us there. So what is the mystique? I'm going to circle back around to another question in a moment. I'm not going to forget it because the stuff that you said was very interesting. Uh, what is the mystique behind your art, and how does it exemplify your brand? What would you say how is it exemplified?
I guess my whole thing behind my art is, I always say it's kind of like satire on my life. Like, I feel like, yeah, I'm only 25, but I've lived a very exciting and very wild life in a sense. So I have too many stories to tell. I have way too many stories to tell. Like, and half of the time it's just, I feel like they would make great art. So that's kind of what it is. I pull from life. I pull from life because I'm always very aware. I pull from myself. I pull from life to, I guess, manifest or just create my art in general. Um, like I said, I just got super. I just lived a wild life, so I got a lot of wild stories to tell. I meet a lot of wild people, like those kind of people. Like, you ever had somebody just walk up on you like randomly and just say some of the wildest or wisest things ever, and just leave, and you'll never see them again. You ask around,
I'm from New
nobody know
York.
who
That has
they
happened.
are. Type of person.
I'm from New York, yes.
You know, I know exactly. So like I live that kind of life. So, and I always, you meet some of my friends, they tell you like I'm like a living cartoon. So that's really what it is. That's really what it is. That's the whole kind of brand of my art. And I also call myself Air because I feel like I feel like no matter where I go, I feel like I'm a standout. My personality, I know I look like a regular dude, but my personality is gonna shine. It's definitely gonna shine. So I'm always gonna stand out. I'm always going against the grain. So I'm always that Air. I'm that Air. I'm your favorite Air.
Okay. So which artists do you draw inspiration from? Who are some of your like favorite artists that you look to help inspire your work?
Okay, so all right, so I'm always gonna say this. So since I'm a self-taught artist, I'm always gonna shout out. It's a YouTube artist named Mark Crilly. I promise you, he helped me do so much. He helped me get a whole foundation before I went to college for art. I'm always gonna shout out Mark Crilly. I have also had a teacher in college. He was a figure art artist, but turns out he was a famous artist, but he was a Russian famous artist. His name is Budev. I forget his whole name, but his name is Budev. Um, I've seen his art and his realism. I haven't seen nothing like that. I can compare that to almost borderline religious art. Like it's beautiful. So he ended up being one of my favorites, just walking along life. And then I guess one of my favorite and my other favorites that I love, and I don't really look for inspiration from, but I do love for sure, is an artist named Portef. He's an artist. I think he's an artist out of Atlanta. Um, Black artist. He's really dope. If you ask me, he leads he leads this generation of black painters when it comes to like that cartoonish, like wild style. A lot of people try to copy him, but they not that. So yeah, those are my inspirations.
Nice. So my son who's graduating from high school is into he's into art. And he is, when you said you got scammed by the school in Florida, that is making me curious because he is looking at one of those art schools in Chicago. So what was it about the program that you felt you didn't get from it, or that you didn't get from it, and how was it that, what is it that what is it that people need to look out for when it comes to those types of schools?
So the funniest thing is, well, the first thing is, please go to one that has a high output rate, meaning go to one that you know that is sending people off to like their next venture, or they at least have a better chance of working in the industry or things of that nature. You know, like, because when you leave art school, that's gonna be the hardest part. You know, especially if you don't have any connections, you don't have like any experience for real, they're gonna fuck you over, you know. Um when it comes to and I also say the classes, make sure you pay attention to the kind of classes they offer, because you can tell the ones that don't mean nothing, the ones you can go to YouTube University, you know, and learn. And then there also are classes that you really do need to learn. Like I could say, going to, even though it was a scam and it did shut down, um, honestly, the best class I had in there was figure drawing, and I guess like some graphic design classes, because you definitely in beginning stages of animation classes, because it's cool to know the good details and the basics of things. All the extra, they'll teach you the hard way of doing it, but it's all just extra steps. Everything you can simplify everything if you just learn it on your own on YouTube. Most of the stuff you can learn on YouTube when it comes to just like the foundations of art, and when it comes to like shading and figure drawing and having that model in front of you to draw and all that kind of stuff, I say was very helpful, because they time you and stuff like that. I feel like having a teacher for that is a very helpful thing, because I can say Budev, the teacher I did have, he definitely helped me evolve my style into what you see today. But most classes aren't really worth anything. Just pay attention to the classes, pay attention to how much the teachers care. Please pay attention to how much the teachers care. Pay attention to your classes, and just make sure they have a high output rate to going into the industry. That's probably the main thing to look at for sure. For sure, for sure. And
Okay, so
that'll
you said the school no longer exists. So the
and
school
for
shut down. It no longer exists.
I don't think the Art Institute is still around, but
Okay.
most of their schools are definitely closed. Like I think it's a few that actually were serious and that were not scamming, but it's it's a lot
Because
that.
I think the Art Institute of Atlanta closed, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I heard that. So the school that my son is looking at is the American Academy of Art in Chicago. And they
Okay.
seem to have a decent we're looking at all of those things, like you said, output rate, how successful they are in building up their students for a career. Of course, the
Mhm.
students will always have to hustle and do what they need to
Oh
do,
yeah,
right?
this is not a joke.
But at the same time, for as much as you're paying for those schools, you expect for them
Yeah.
to help you find a job and prepare you for a career once you leave. So
Yes.
that is yeah. So I was very, very curious about what you meant by that. And I'm glad you said that, because for people who are looking to go to those types of schools, these are the sorts of things that they need to be aware of. And so I really appreciate you saying that. So yeah, definitely thank you for giving that input there. So we are going to get into the project. You
Yeah.
released recently a project called The Death of God. Tell us about it. What was your inspiration? And what do you hope will be the takeaway from this message?
Okay, so the death of God. The death of God is basically an ideal that has been done before. It's a book on it. It's even conversations prior philosophers that had comparing the death of God to the death or change of a culture. Because in my eyes, I feel like death or God is just another way. Well, not even God, but death is another way for saying change, you know? But I feel like of course, I'm an artist. Of course, I love to stir up the pot. Why not call it death of God? You know? Why not? So, but the whole idea behind it is just comparing that death of God or like the ideal of God changing to the changing of a culture, playing one and two together. And I guess that's how it kind of came about. But honestly, I was pondering on it for about like 2 years because I wanted to see how well I could do at it. But to do that, I had to think of my own, philosophy and my own process, comparing like and comparing like the spiritual and physical together and just trying to make it all make sense. Um, and at the same time, I wanted to leave a open table talk for people because I realized even saying even saying the death of God to people made them, no matter what I said before or after the death of God, all they heard was the death of God. So I kind of realized like, okay, let me have an open table talk for people because it doesn't matter what I say. They wanna explain instantly. They wanna say what they gotta say instantly. It don't matter what I say no longer. So I realized let's have an open table talk for people. Let's allow people to express however they want to feel about it. That means religious people. That means atheists. That means all kinds your cult like people, Satanists, everybody. You know, to have a talk about what they believe this is or what they believe. The 10 questions I did have for them. But the ideal in general. Now, I know I'm kind of scattered everywhere, but I'm gonna bring it back to the 10 questions. I did have a 10 question breakdown. Not 10 question breakdown, 10 questionnaire for people, just to kind of, lead their mind and lead the questions all together. And just, allowing people to say what they have to say about the subject. And it was really interesting. It was really, really interesting because you learn a lot from people, especially when they get to express their rawest emotions about something so sensitive. I just learned like it's especially also interviewing the younger to the older as well because you see the gap. You always see the gap of like cultures colliding together, the birth of a new culture, the death of an old. So you just comparing those two is always funny, but that's basically what the whole what the whole series is about, was trying to get people to express that and also bring along some visuals along to like my series, bringing some visuals, bringing some voices, bringing some free thought into something that usually is just something still. Because instead of just dropping like a 10-piece illustration, why not drop almost something movie like, a documentary like, hey. So yeah, that's the death of God. That's
Awesome. So, what kind of challenges did you run into trying to release this project?
All right.
What was that process?
All right. So the process behind that, I'm gonna be completely honest. It was very, Very, very interesting. Like I said in the beginning, even trying to explain to people or try to get people to hop into the project or even be a part of it was stressful because as soon as I say the death of God, I had Israelites trying to go off on me. I had people like, oh, what the what? Like, I even announced it in front of where I work, and everybody was just everybody started acting funny with me. It was like everybody started asking me questions like, "Oh my God, are you an atheist?" Like, hey, no, but people was really like coming up to me like, "Do you believe in God?" And like, "Are you an atheist? Like, do you believe in the devil?" Like stuff like that. And I'm like, bro, chill. Like, bro, chill. It don't matter what I think, just vibe. Like one of those situations, and also too, going a little 5 points doing an interview, trying to do face-to-face interviews. I came back to my car with my window bust open. They ain't even steal nothing. they bust my window, all kinds of stuff. I had people looking at me crazy, all kinds of stuff. I had all kinds of stuff. Walking around for 5 points with that little board. But it's funny because it all played out smooth. Like even the music you hear in the background was just natural. Like, I ain't even have to put nothing in. It was just natural. So everything kind of came full circle, but it definitely was testing. It definitely was testing how serious I was about it. So yeah, there's definitely some struggle.
Wow. So so what do you hope the takeaway will be from this from not just from the title, because we know it's very provocative, which we love here, but what do you hope the takeaway will be for viewers or people who are looking at it for the first time?
Um, just to talk about it. Like just I feel like we in a time on this earth where I just feel like it's a good time to talk about something like that. If we in a destructive era, we in another cycle of destruction. Well, another cycle in that little chaos, you know. So got a war going on, all kinds of stuff. We watching the shift of a culture in front of us. So why not talk about it? Why not talk about that little philosophy? So I feel like no matter what you believe in, I don't care whatever you believe in or what you don't believe in. I feel like hopefully what you take out of this could help you understand what you believe more, you know? That's all it is. It's just a philosophy I want people to talk about, literally. And I hope it helps you in life. I hope it helps in your own philosophies. I hope it helps in your own thought process. But that's really it. I just want to create that talk. I just want people to talk about it. That's all. I just literally want people to have a discussion.
And it's interesting because you say that you talk about the wars, and right now there is still that war going on between Israel and Palestine, which is a conflict that has been, it isn't new. It's been around for years. And so, when we think about perhaps the death of God, do you perhaps sometimes think that it could save the lives of so many people? Especially when you look through history and the number of wars that have been fought or the number of conflicts that have taken place over the concepts of God that has basically killed millions of humans. So, do you perhaps think that perhaps the death of God could help save more lives? Just if it's something that you've been thinking about.
Um, Honestly, that's up to the people. Whatever you pull from this, hopefully. But if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's really up to the people. That's really my answer to that.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. It was wonderful to have you. It was wonderful to hear about your project, and we look forward to delving more into it. And we definitely, because especially since you're in the Atlanta area, we definitely look forward to connecting with you more. So thank you for being on the show.
So thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me. Thank you for even being interested in my whole thing. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your weekend.
You have a good one, y'all. Be easy now.
All right. Once again, y'all can follow Error on IG. The handle is in the description. I originally had that incorrect, but it has been corrected. So please do check out The Death of God, which is on his IG page. Follow, subscribe, and support the work. And we are at the point of the show where we announce upcoming events. So later on today, this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central, tune into the Skeptic Haven's Mythmas live stream fundraiser, which will take place right here on YouTube. Special guests will include yours truly, Cynthia McDonald, Candace Gorham, Arn Ra, and more. You can find out what's going on over there. They have a number of programs that they have going on their channel, and they're trying to build up their community base. And we are more than happy to help support them. Please do. There will be a link in the chat where you can donate to help support their efforts, as well as tune in to see the live guests starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. So going over there later on this afternoon and check it out. So tomorrow, the 17th, join Cynthia and crew in Chicago at 11:30 a.m. Central Time for a brunch gathering at S2 City Grill and Daiquiri Bar. The link to that meetup will be shared in the chat. And also at 3 p.m. Virtual via Zoom, please tune in to Can We Talk? Education, Empowerment, and Advocacy at the End of Life. Our special guest is the program presented by Black Nonbelievers. Our special guest is Chanel Reed from Compassion and Choices. She recently presented on BNC Con 2024. As always, shout out to Compassion and Choices for supporting this event as well as our work. You can sign up. Registration is required, but it is free to attend. So if you have time, 3 p.m. Eastern via Zoom, please register for that event that takes place tomorrow. Also on December 23rd, coming back to YouTube from 5 to 9 p.m. Eastern, 4 to 8 p.m. Central, we will be hosting a live stream fundraiser for Black Nonbelievers for our end of year efforts. Once again, we'd like to shout out and say a special thank you to everyone who has donated throughout the year and for our end of year campaign. We will also be doing a live stream fundraiser. Special guests will be Chris Cameron, Candace Gorham, Annie Laurie Gaylor, and Dan Barker from the Freedom from Religion Foundation, Jeremiah Kamara, who produced the film Contradiction, Sharon Paget, Arn Ra, and more. It will be hosted by myself and Cynthia McDonald and produced by your friendly neighborhood atheist. Shout out to Ethan Michael from there. Please do look out for that announcement coming soon to our channel. And if you aren't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do make sure that you do so that you can stay notified on upcoming events. And on December 25th, which is Christmas Day in Atlanta, join us for dinner and a movie. So starting at 5 o'clock, we will be meeting at the Decatur Golden Corral, which is on Lawrenceville Highway. They will be open for lunch and dinner, on Christmas Day. So we will meet there at 5 o'clock, and then meet almost right after that. We will be going to the AMC at North DeKalb 16, which is in the old North DeKalb Mall, right across the way from the Golden Corral. We will be seeing the 8:30 p.m. showing of The Color Purple, which is debuting on Christmas Day. And right now, the pre-sale tickets are at about $8. So if you would like to get your tickets for that show, please do and meet us there. Again, we realize, we understand that the holidays can be busy, but they can also be a very tense experience for many, especially non-believers. So we always try to make sure we get together and do something on that day where you can enjoy like-minded fellowship and company and just do something fun, or if you want to vent or just have, just have a good time, we can definitely do that on that day. So join us for dinner and a movie on Christmas Day. If you will be here in the Atlanta area, if you are visiting or if you live here, please join us for that. BNC Con, as I said earlier, is back in 2024. It will take place from November 29th through December 5th. Join us on Royal Caribbean's Independence of the Seas, which will stop this year in Labadie, Haiti, which is Royal Caribbean's private section of the island, and also Falmouth, Jamaica, which is near Montego Bay. Our featured speakers include Chris Cameron, Candace Gorham, Dragnot Mims, Christy Puckett, who we had on the show earlier this year, back in the summer, Teddy Reeves from the National Museum for African American Culture, and more. Prices start at just $600 per person for double occupancy. It includes cabin fare, taxes and port fees, multiple dining options, and convention registration. And if you need to make flexible payment arrangements, you are more than welcome to do so. You can just hit us up for that. We have all of our cruises are paid incrementally, so you don't have to come up with all of the money at once unless we get closer to the date, but we will keep you updated on that. However, if you would like to secure your spot and do so early, if you do so before December 22nd, you get some extra goodies. So please make sure you put in your deposit right away. The website, all of the information is up on our website at BNC Con, and the link to directly register will be in the chat. And we are still looking for new BN board members. If you are enthusiastic, dedicated, and like to have fun while working, please do apply to be a board member for Black Nonbelievers. And we are also always still looking for new affiliate leaders and volunteers to help us organize and put things together. You can fill out that form, which is also on our website. The Godless Gospel Music Project is still looking for singers, particularly tenors. And this is a paid opportunity. It is a production of the Freedom from Religion Foundation. If you have some talent, if you can sing and you would like to join us for a wonderful musical experience, submit your audition at godlessgospel.org. And as always, we will keep you posted on social media and on upcoming shows about special events and other updates. Also, if you are looking for a great gift to give at any time of the year, but especially the holiday season, pick up a copy of Name Dropping. Name Dropping is the frustratingly fun movie trivia card game that was created by new BN board member Deanna Williams and her best friend Jesus Reyna. Name Dropping, you can click on the chat to purchase your copy today. So this wraps up our final episode of In the Cut for 2023. Thank you all very much for joining us throughout the year. We hope you enjoyed this episode and that you will join us again in 2024. As a reminder, we air every first and third Saturday of each month. Please do like this video, share it, spread the word. Follow us on Facebook at Black Nonbelievers, Instagram at B Nonbelievers Inc., and X, formerly Twitter, at B Nonbelievers. The B and the N are capitalized. Once again, please do subscribe to us on YouTube at Black Nonbelievers Inc. I'd like to thank all of our new subscribers, everyone who has found our channel this year. Even if you are looking through and watching old videos, this gets us closer to the monetization of our channel. So of course, the more you watch our content, the more the opportunities increase for us to fundraise directly through YouTube. And again, we thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and getting up our content hours. It makes a huge difference. So also find your local BN affiliate on Meetup or join all of them. Remember, we are looking for new organizers. Be sure to complete that volunteer form. And of course, we encourage you to financially support our work. We do need it. Make your tax deductible donation at BlackNonbelievers.org on the donate tab. And if you are looking for financial information, we have it on there. Both our federal and Georgia state IDs and numbers are on there, so you can find our information and see what we have achieved and what we need to more of to achieve. So definitely, please do make your financial contributions to Black Nonbelievers to support our very important work. And if you want to represent even more, you get your swag. We just got a new shipment of merchandise. So we have shirts, we have hoodies, we have mugs, we have shot glasses. You can purchase all of that and more to rep your set at our online store. And that link will also be shared in the chat. Once again, thank you very much for joining us. We wish you the rest of your very happy rest of your holiday season and a very happy new year. Take care, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.